Picture this scenario. That might literally be happening to thousands of people this very Friday afternoon. You're walking out of the glass lobby of your corporate office building. In your hands is a standard brown cardboard box holding a few familiar items, a coffee mug with the company logo, a couple of framed family photos, a notebook full of unfinished projects, and a freshly signed severance agreement. That initial wave of shock and emptiness quickly gives way to a crushing anxiety. An invisible weight presses on your chest as you start doing the mental math on next month's rent, the kids' tuition, and a mountain of consumer debt waiting to swallow you whole. But then, you drag your feet to the parking lot. You reach into your pocket, press a button on your key fob, and hear that familiar beep beep. Right in front of you sits your pickup truck. Suddenly, in that moment of despair, this vehicle doesn't just look like a mode of transportation. It looks like a giant metal life raft. A wave of romantic, liberating hope washes over you. You tell yourself, wait a minute, I'm not empty-handed. I own a four-wheeled machine worth tens of thousands of dollars. It's got a powerful V6 engine, four-wheel drive, and most importantly, a massive empty bed in the back. Out there, the economy is constantly moving. Thousands of people are moving apartments today. Hundreds of construction sites are starving for materials. Millions of people are buying bulky furniture online and desperately need a way to get it home. I don't need a boss. No more pointless hours-long Zoom calls. No more fake KPI reviews. It's just me, my truck, the open road, and cold, hard cash flowing directly into my pocket every single day. It is a highly cinematic, picture-perfect entrepreneurial dream. You imagine it'll only take 5 minutes to post a status on local Facebook groups, slap a cheap plastic sign on your rear window that says, "Man with a truck, moving and hauling," and then just sit back with your morning coffee, waiting for your phone to ring and the money to roll in. But welcome to real-world economics. Through the ruthless lens of cold numbers and financial gravity, here is the first brutal truth you have to face. Owning a pickup truck does not automatically make you a logistics entrepreneur. The reality is, it merely turns you into an individual bearing 100% of the operational risk of a micro-trucking company, but with absolutely none of the scale required to absorb the massive costs waiting to devour you. The exact second you decide to pivot the purpose of your truck from a personal commuter vehicle used for weekend camping trips into your sole financial lifeline, the economic nature of that vehicle flips 180 degrees. Your truck ceases to be a personal asset that provides convenience. It instantly transforms into a capital-consuming machine, a financial black hole. Every single mile you roll down the pavement looking for a gig, every minute your engine idles while you wait for someone to load up the bed, and every tiny scratch on your tailgate is silently, secretly withdrawing money from your bank account, long before you ever see a single dime of actual, realized profit. The romantic illusion of freedom behind the wheel usually evaporates the moment you get slapped with your first commercial repair bill. When someone loses their job and decides, "I'm going to use my truck to make money," they usually picture a highly simplified, uniform business model. You pick up stuff at point A, drop it off at point B, hand it to the customer, and get paid. Done. However, if we look beneath the surface of the pickup truck economy, this gig actually splinters into at least 3 entirely different operational models. And each model comes with its own unique cost structure, risk barriers, and target demographics. The first model, and the most common entry point for rookies, is B2C on-demand moving and hauling. This is the easiest market to penetrate. Your customers are everyday individuals, a college student switching dorms, a single mom who just bought a used refrigerator on Facebook Marketplace, or a homeowner trying to haul a mountain of junk to the landfill after spring cleaning. Economically speaking, this model is defined by a high frequency of transactions but an incredibly low lifetime value per customer. You get paid immediately, usually in cash. On paper, the profit margins per trip look fantastic. You drive 15 miles, do some heavy lifting, and walk away with a fat wad of cash before noon. But the fatal flaw here is extreme volatility. Individual retail customers are hyper price sensitive. They will haggle over $10 and won't hesitate to cancel on you at the last minute if they find some college kid willing to do it cheaper. Furthermore, this is grueling, backbreaking labor. You aren't just a driver, you are a heavy lifting mover. Slip on a staircase and drop a client's flat-screen TV, and your entire week's earnings will vanish in an instant to cover the damages. The second model is a product of the digital age. Gig economy platform delivery. Instead of hustling to find your own clients, you download heavy goods delivery apps, upload your driver's license, and wait for the algorithm to ping. The core characteristic of this model is that you surrender all your pricing power and customer control to a third party. You don't spend money on marketing, and you never have to argue about quotes. The app beeps, you see a pickup and drop off, you hit accept, and you drive. But the price of that convenience is steep. Your profit margins are compressed to the absolute floor. These tech mega platforms use big data to optimize prices to attract consumers, while quietly siphoning off a massive 15 to 30% commission fee straight out of your gross revenue. The ultimate risk here is absolute algorithm dependency. You own exactly zero business relationships. If the platform decides tomorrow to slash the per-mile payout to please their shareholders, or if your account gets permanently deactivated over a single one-star review from a grumpy customer, your financial bloodline is severed instantly with no right to appeal. The third model is the hardest to crack, but it is the holy grail of sustainability: commercial B2B contracting. In this model, you turn your back on flaky retail customers and soulless apps. Your targets are local small and medium-sized businesses, a family-owned custom carpentry shop, an independent plumbing contractor, a local hardware store, or an event rental company. The beauty of B2B contracting is repeatable volume and predictable scheduling. The profit margin on a single delivery might be squeezed lower by a business owner than it would be by a desperate person moving out of an apartment, but in exchange, your vehicle utilization rate and total monthly gross soar. You know for a fact that every Tuesday and Thursday morning, you have guaranteed work. Of course, every model has a weak spot. The risk with B2B is sluggish cash flow. Instead of getting cash in hand the moment you drop the tailgate, you have to adapt to net 30 or net 60 invoicing terms. If a contractor pays late or goes bankrupt, you will face a severe cash flow crisis, because the gas stations and mechanics will never let you buy on credit. To truly understand the economics of this hustle, we have to strip bare one of the most dangerous financial traps out there, the one that quietly bankrupts countless freelance truck owners in their very first year. It's called the cash flow illusion. This illusion acts like a financial narcotic. When you sweat through your shirt carrying a washing machine up 3 flights of stairs, and the customer hands you a stack of $20 bills, your brain instantly releases dopamine and tells you, "This is my profit." You happily take that money to buy dinner, pay off a credit card, or treat yourself. But in reality, a massive chunk of that cash is not business profit. You are simply liquidating the accumulated value of your own vehicle. Let's do a financial autopsy on the deeply underestimated hidden costs that everyone holding a steering wheel has to face. Hidden cost number 1: accelerated depreciation and mechanical devastation. When you were a corporate employee, your truck probably drove 10 to 15,000 miles a year. But when that truck becomes your sole breadwinner, that number can easily triple or quadruple, shooting up to 40 or 60,000 miles a year. Vehicle depreciation is aggressively tied to the numbers on your odometer. Racking up miles at breakneck speed will cause your truck's resale value to plummet off a cliff. And it doesn't stop there. Forcing a light-duty truck to constantly haul thousands of pounds of gravel, steel, or heavy furniture puts catastrophic stress on your suspension, brakes, transmission, and especially your tires. The lifespan of a tire bearing heavy loads is significantly shorter than one cruising empty on a highway. And commercial-grade, load-rated tires are vastly more expensive to replace. This wear and tear is invisible today, but it will deliver a fatal blow to your wallet when you inevitably end up at the mechanic. Hidden cost number 2: the commercial insurance trap. This is a knowledge gap so dangerous it can wipe out your entire net worth in a fraction of a second. Almost every rookie who takes their personal truck out to run gigs keeps their personal auto insurance policy to save money. But insurance actuaries are not stupid. Personal policies have incredibly strict exclusion clauses. Let's say you're driving in the rain, you skid, and you rear-end a luxury SUV. When the claims adjuster shows up and sees your truck bed loaded with commercial landscaping equipment or items tied to a delivery manifest, they will instantly classify this as commercial use on a personal policy and deny your claim 100%. To operate legally and protect your financial future, you are forced to upgrade to a commercial auto insurance policy, which is notoriously expensive due to the high-risk nature of the miles you drive. On top of that, if you drop a client's antique cabinet, you need cargo insurance to cover the payload. Ignoring these costs is like playing Russian roulette with your family's financial future. Hidden cost number 3, the silent thief of deadhead miles. Many starry-eyed drivers open up an Excel spreadsheet, calculate the distance from pickup A to drop-off B, multiply it by their MPG, and think they've calculated their fuel cost. That is mathematical fiction. The brutal reality is that you have to start your engine and pay for your own gas just to drive from your house to the pickup spot. And once you drop the cargo at point B, you can't just pitch a tent and sleep there. You have to drive your empty truck back home or to a new staging zone to hunt for the next gig. These empty, non-revenue generating miles are called deadhead miles. They often make up 30 to 50% of your total daily driving. They burn fuel, they wear out your tires, and they exhaust your physical energy while paying you exactly $0. Add to that the fact that a fully loaded pickup truck burns fuel at a drastically higher rate than the manufacturer's window sticker suggests. Hidden cost number 4, freelance taxes, permits, and the law. When you are no longer a W-2 employee, there is no accounting department automatically withholding taxes for you. You are now fully self-employed. Depending on your jurisdiction, you are on the hook for self-employment taxes, commercial transport permits, toll fees, and stricter vehicle inspections. If you lack the fierce financial discipline to automatically siphon 20 to 30% of your gross revenue into a separate tax savings account, you will face an absolute nightmare and massive penalties when tax season arrives. And as a quick legal disclaimer, complying with labor, tax, and safety laws is non-negotiable. Operating overweight or without proper cargo securement doesn't just invite crippling fines, it puts the lives of everyone on the road in serious danger. After painting that grim picture of expenses, we arrive at the core truth. A counterintuitive reality that completely flips the script on this industry. Most people falsely believe that to succeed in hauling, you need the biggest truck, the most horsepower, or the biggest muscles to lift heavy things. They are entirely wrong. Here is the ultimate paradox of the pickup truck economy. Sustainable profit does not come from the horsepower under your hood or the payload capacity of your suspension. It comes from your ability to mathematically eliminate deadhead miles and your ability to transform a piece of metal into a reliable utility for repeat business, relationships. In plain English, a driver with a scratched-up, 10-year-old truck who holds the phone numbers of 5 local contractors that call him for scheduled deliveries every single Monday will generate vastly more net profit, healthier cash flow, and less stress than an amateur who takes on debt to buy a shiny new top-of-the-line truck, but spends his days staring at an app, anxiously fighting for random, low-paying gigs from strangers on the internet. Your truck is just hardware. The true nature of this business is not selling cargo space. The nature of this business is selling peace of mind and eliminating friction. High-paying clients don't pay you because your truck is cool. They pay you because you show up on time, you strap down the cargo professionally so it doesn't scratch, you deliver it without complaining, and you make them feel that once they hand the job to you, they can sleep soundly at night. Your value is built on trust, not towing capacity. To bring this dry economic theory back down to earth, let's simulate the trajectory of a truck owner through 2 very different real-world scenarios. The good scenario, the network builder, Let's say you launch your truck hustle in early spring. The economy is thawing out, housing moves are up, and home renovations are booming. Instead of working purely on instinct, you apply strict business logic. In your first month, you take small, annoying retail hauling gigs, but instead of just dumping the cargo and grabbing the cash, you differentiate yourself. You bring moving blankets and ratcheting tie-downs. Even when you're dripping with sweat, you smile, offer to sweep up the packing debris, and hand the client a clean, professionally designed business card. That professionalism spreads. A woman you helped move recommends you to her brother, who owns a custom window and door manufacturing shop across town. He is losing his mind because app-based gig drivers keep scratching his expensive glass and showing up late to job sites. You walk in, pitch him on reliability, and secure a contract, guaranteed deliveries for his shop, 3 days a week. Within 3 months, thanks to the foundational revenue of that B2B contract, your fixed costs, like insurance and truck payments, are completely covered. The remaining days of the week, you turn on the apps purely for high-margin supplemental profit. You've built a resilient micro-ecosystem that is immune to random market swings. The bad scenario, the downward spiral. Now, let's look through a darker lens. You start this venture in the dead of winter, right as a local economic recession hits. Real estate freezes, consumers tighten their belts, and nobody is buying new furniture. The delivery apps see a massive flood of new drivers registering, mostly people who just lost their jobs, exactly like you. The algorithm responds by crushing the pay rates to rock bottom. You get sucked into a race to the bottom, grinding through dirt-cheap gigs just to earn enough to fill your gas tank that day. Then, disaster strikes. While pushing your truck past its weight limit to make up for lost revenue, your transmission lets out a horrifying grinding noise and blows out completely in the middle of the highway. Your truck is towed to the shop. The repair bill is estimated in the thousands, but the real nightmare isn't the mechanic's invoice, it's the opportunity cost. For the 2 weeks your truck sits dead on a lift waiting for parts, your revenue is exactly zero. But the bank doesn't care that your truck is broken. They still want their loan payment. The insurance company still deducts their premium. Because you didn't understand the math of depreciation and failed to build a repair fund out of your early cash earnings. This mechanical failure becomes a knockout punch. It pushes you into a debt spiral, forcing you to sell your beloved truck for pennies on the dollar just to stop the bleeding. To sum it all up, if you recently lost a stable job and all you have left to your name is a pickup truck in the driveway, don't despair, but don't be naive either. Financial independence behind the wheel is a very real possibility. But it is not a romantic fairy tale for financial amateurs. The independent hauling industry is a brutal arena that requires you to think like a ruthless chief financial officer. You must calculate every drop of fuel, track every empty mile, understand the hard boundaries of liability law, and above all, use relentless professionalism to forge a network of loyal repeat clients. For those of you out there grinding on the pavement every single day, fighting traffic, inhaling exhaust, braving harsh weather, and straining your backs to put food on the table for your families, using your pickup truck to haul freight might not be a magical shortcut to immense wealth. But if you operate it with a cold, calculating mind, iron discipline, and deep professional pride, that four-wheeled machine can be the most resilient life raft you will ever own. It will keep you standing tall on your own 2 feet, protect your dignity as an honest worker, and power you through the most turbulent, uncertain chapters of your life.